Alright. So we're set up for this. This will be my first run of this category that I basically made up. 425 snowflakes, which is 100% of collectibles in the game. And we're gonna get them as fast as possible. So let's get this going.
And you're back with Radio Big. This just in, I don't know if you heard about this, the orange cat incident reported earlier. This has come to an abrupt end for those of you following this story. Both the homeowner, Mr. Ross, and the cat itself were unharmed. However, significant property damage has been reported.
Alright, that could have been a little bit better right there. Okay.
All competitors, a couple of reminders from the fine folks here at Radio Big. Frostbite is far from cool.
Alright, we almost messed that up. Okay, cool. So this is different. I need to go blue station.
Once again, this is Radio Big.
We don't split till after blue station.
Probably
Probably be a little bit of time delay between me going to the right tracks and stuff. Just because I'm not used to the route yet. Alright, so this is one of the sections of the track, or of the game, that probably could be optimized better. We don't get any peak or anything like that. It's kind of hard to really make that faster, but I think it could be done. Alright, split.
Back again. This weather update just in.
Alright, so now we're looking at Metro City. Arguably one of the hardest tracks in the game in terms of snowflakes and otherwise. So I put this early on in the run because I figure in the future, we don't want to go this way. In the future, I may want to reset early enough because of this track. So, but I figured I'd put it really early. It's very easy to lose time on this track. With no existing time, this should be easy enough. But we can still make mistakes. Alright, so we're going to try and go 40 miles an hour here. We're a little bit fast. By doing this, we guarantee that we'll get these, this one and the next one right here, that if you're going too fast, you'll miss out on. Alright, we messed up there, so we have to do that again. Sometimes if you boost there, you'll just go right through the rail, and it's pretty unfortunate. In my peak 1 runs, I put this track at the end, so when that happens, I get kind of irritated. But since this is the first run of this, and first track, not really too worried about it. This is kind of bad, though. We really don't want to be over here. We're gonna try and sneak back over. Alright, we're back over here. And this is also bad. Okay, so we really need to get on that rail, but we also need boost. Our full meter. I did a repeat trick. Oh man. Come on, get on there. Alright. So we're going to try and go 40 miles an hour. We're a little bit fast now, so this could be a problem. Now, if it wasn't for this specific snowflake right here, we could have done a backup strat, but because we missed that one, we have to get that now. We barely got this, but that's okay, as long as we get on there. So we're going to try and get super uber here. We're a few short, so this probably won't happen on this rail. We'll be 1 short. I'm going to get it. Case. Alright, we got this rail. That's a really important one to not miss. You can get it as a backup strat, but it's really, really slow. This one's really straightforward. Just a timed jump. Actually jumped a little bit late, and we land right on it. So we're going to take this back up to session point 2 and go to the right side. Get on this rail. Alright, we were meant to get on that rail right there. I kind of messed it up though. We can get this by going backwards on the rail though. That does lose us some time as well. But we're not looking for a perfect metro on our first run. More time we waste, the better my next time will be. Alright, so we're going to want to slow down here, hit this wall, and then double back through this other section. There's nothing really up there. There are snowflakes, but there's better ways of getting them. So it's much better to go through this section. And there is one at the end of this rail as well that doesn't have a particularly good way of getting it otherwise. Okay, so we got that. Now we have the tricky line. This is one of the more hidden ones on this track if you're playing casually. Alright, don't die. Alright, good. Still alive. This one right here. And we actually already got the one off the left. Normally I would go over there from here, but we did already do it because of us having to go back down the first line. We'll go straight into this one. Hopefully we'll land directly on it. Good. A lot of times you can miss that one. You can go just before it or just clean over it. This is another one that's really hidden. I slowed down a bit too much there, but okay. And then this one right here, this is not the intended way of getting it. I would have liked to have gotten boost at least. We can, so we have a session point right here, so getting this one's pretty easy. The intended way of getting that one is way harder, and you don't have a session point as a backup, so definitely better to do it that way. That's really unfortunate. We have to go back to session point 4 and do that again. That doesn't usually happen, but we hit that ramp at a really bad angle. So, not much I can do about that. Hope it doesn't happen again. Alright, so we're fine here now. Just gonna take this to the end and grab this one. And then we go straight to session point 6. This is another session point that I probably could order better to make it faster, but that's okay. Not really worried about the optimal routing quite yet. I'm just glad that we have it fully routed. There will definitely be changes in the way that this run is done in the future. I'll probably move tracks around. Okay, we still got that. That was really dumb. But yeah, I'll probably move tracks around. I'm sure we'll have different strategies for a lot of different things. This is one of the sections that I think needs improvement as well. Oop, not transport. There we go. I gotta remember, we're going to junction next. Alright, so that's all of them on that track. I go straight to junction. What?
We're back with EA Radio Big.
Alright, so that track took like 7.5, 8 minutes, something like that. I can't math right now, but that's pretty slow, but I mean, it's still good enough for now. For the first run. I may have screwed this up already. Let's see if we can't. land on it. Alright, we missed it. This one? Land on it? Alright. We'll come back for that first one here in a second. And that one. Ideally, we would get all these right off the bat. I can't really hope for that every time, but that's why we put it early enough in the run that if it ever does become a big issue, I could just reset. Obviously, we're not doing that on the first run. We got that one. I think this one's like right here. I should have arced it more. I think we're still good. Okay, cool. So that's Junction down. We're gonna go to Peak 2 and go to Schizophrenia.
You're back with Radio Big.
This is the next super pipe on Peak 2. This is probably going to be where a huge amount of time is lost, generally. I would say that this is the hardest super pipe to do quickly, and subsequently probably the hardest track. I mean, it's not really hard in terms of execution, but just in terms of doing it fast is definitely the hardest. You gotta get lucky, and you have to try and line stuff up. Alright, that one's over there. I'm sure with more practice on this track, we'll get more consistent at it, but right now, not so much there yet. This camera angle also is really detrimental. Alright, I think we're gonna miss it still. It is back further. So this one and the next one in the same pipe are really high in the air, and that's what makes these so hard to get. Let's hope we get this on the way down. Alright, cool. We got that one on the way down. This one's really high up there. Let's see. So lining it up is quite difficult. That is most of the difficulty in this, is you can get the right height, but if your angle's wrong, you're just not going to get it. Oh, okay, cool, we got it. That was pretty lucky that we got that so quickly. Normally that one will take more time. Right, so we go back to session point 2, basically the only real session point. I messed up the hand plant there. I want to get over into this pipe. Alright, we're just gonna go back to session point 2 again. Bit of time wasted there, but can't do everything perfectly. Not yet, anyways. Alright, so that one's actually a little bit more tricky than you would think. You don't have a really good spot to mark where you're at, and if the snowflake ends up behind you like it is now, it can be extremely hard to get. So I'm gonna try and change the camera as much as I can. Okay, cool. We got that one pretty quickly. I'm happy with that. Alright, so we'll kind of want to line this up so that we're gonna do an arc into it. Alright, that was really good. Actually, I was further along than I thought I was, but we still got it. Alright, and if we're lucky, we'll get this one right off the bat. Alright, we, too much arc, not enough height. If we can stay on the pipe, get another pass at it. I'm surprised the camera didn't revert here. Come on. Alright, I guess it's still behind us. Alright, so I'm actually going to slow down here for a second and get the camera facing the right way. Or not. Normally when you do that, the camera switches, so I don't know why it's not doing it. And maybe we'll fall on this. Not quite. Alright, let's get this camera reset if we can. It's still not doing it. That's pretty weird. Come on. Man, it really doesn't want to switch there. Alright, let's switch this way. I think we're gonna go over it. Miss it. Yeah. This one's also tricky. Basically all of them on this track are really hard to get. So we're 4 minutes or so in. My best time on this is like 3 minutes 59 seconds or something. So oh, alright, cool, we got it. Alright, off to the last one. Last super pipe.
Welcome back to
That was a pretty good time, honestly. I mean, it may have looked slow, but that track's just really hard to do quickly, so I'm definitely happy with that time.
You're tuned to Radio Big.
Alright, so this track, before arguably was my worst track. I took like 30 minutes trying to get all of these. It was not good. That was really good. And it's mainly because of the ones up at the top. And you'll see those here in a minute. Alright, we got all those really quickly, which is nice. So we're gonna take this rail right here. We did not need to slow down that much. Boost along it, grab this one. Alright, now we're gonna try and get up to these two super pipes up here. So ideally we would have super uber here, but that's shouldn't be too much of an issue. Right, so we have a setup for this where we take this, and if we're going the right speed, which we are not, we jump at a very specific time. Still not going the right speed. Alright, so this might be a problem with no boost now. Alright, we were going the right speed. We're definitely not going to make that though. So the more you do that backup, the harder it gets to make that. Ideally, you want to do that the first time through. It makes it much easier, but you have to get that speed. If you don't have the right speed, you're not going to make it, and it's not worth trying. You're better off just doing trying to do the backup. The wrong tricks. Oh, come on. You can make it up there. Okay. So I guess we're gonna do this side now. It doesn't really matter which side we do first. They're the same thing either way. So we do a hand plant here. Not going fast enough. Alright, we were going fast enough there. This looks decent. Alright, we got both of them. Falling down there is not a big deal. It would look cooler if I didn't, but really doesn't make too much of a difference. The important part is getting those snowflakes. So unfortunately, we're gonna lose super uber here. If we're lucky, we'll still be fine though. Yeah, this is kind of bad. I'm gonna try for it anyways. Alright, we did not make it. So we're gonna have to do it again. Hopefully we can get this within a reasonable amount of time. AKA not 20 minutes. These 3 super pipes are where I can gain or lose a lot of time on the run. Alright, we did not going fast enough. Alright, that's just barely fast enough, but I didn't get the angle for it. We were too far away from the spot we wanted to be. And that's the risk that comes with doing the backup. You don't get lined up exactly where you want to be. The first time I do it, I get between those 2 markers, and that's exactly the perfect spot. but when you have to go back and forth between those, you just get further and further away from where you're trying to be lined up. So the angle at which you want to jump changes significantly. So this is good. They're not going fast enough though. Really unfortunate when that happens. I'm actually gonna stop here for a second and get some boost. I don't feel very confident in being able to do it without it. Alright, this looks pretty good. I don't think we're gonna get the second one though, which is really unfortunate. We're gonna have to do it again. Again, if we had not been doing the backup strats there, we probably would have gotten both of those. Right, we have Super Uber now. Alright, we're going for it. Alright, well we didn't get sent out, which is good. Try and get this speed. Alright, we're gonna go too far now, probably. We might be able to get this still. No. Oh, what am I doing? So as soon as we get done with this one, it should be a pretty fast ride through the rest of the tracks. We have Ruthless Ridge coming up next. That'll be the very last one on that track. Can cause some major issues. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, this looks good. Alright, cool. So that's all of that. Go to Ruthless Ridge now. Oh, it's right there. Split.
And you're back with Radio Big. Alright, here's some SSX info you won't hear anywhere else. Sounds like Rider Supreme.
Alright, so that took 8 minutes. That would have ideally been faster, but for a first run, I will take that.
You're listening to EA Radio Big.
We want to slow down here so that we can get up here.
SSX powerhouse Nate Logan. The man wants some Caesars, and here they are.
See if we can get that one. It doesn't really matter if we get that one there or not. If we get on the rail, we can do a different route that is technically faster, but going this way is fine as well. Except for when you're out of control like that. Not so good. Gonna slow down a little bit here just in case. Grab that one. Alright, we want to be going slow enough here that we don't miss this rail just like I did, because now we're gonna have to go back and do that again. So let's do that. Unfortunately, there's no other good session point except for this one to do this from. So in the snow is a rail like that. Now that was unfortunate and interesting. Never quite had it do that. So we're gonna grab this one and then go back up to position point 2. We're gonna grab the stuff on the right side now. so we need to not be on this rail. Bad. Do a hand plant here and get off of it. We need to take this rail. Actually, we really don't, but that's how you would normally get that other snowflake there that we already got. But we had to get on that rail anyways, and there's not a real good way to do it from that that long rail. Alright, hopefully we make this. Okay, we did not make that. We have to do that again now. Gonna do a little bit of boost just in case. Yeah, that was lucky we didn't wipe out there. Okay, so now we're gonna take this rail and hopefully get this first try. Alright, not so much. That's a really hard one for me for no reason in particular. I'm just bad at it, I guess. Luckily we have a session point right there, so we will come back for it. So we need to be really careful in this section to do this right. Hopefully we're not going to go too far. Okay. That one really sucks to have to come back and get, so it's good that we got it early on. Oh crap. Never had that happen before. Good thing we could still get that one though. So we want to be not going too fast on this. That way we can land directly into this out of bounds section. Probably going to wipe out here. Oh, we didn't. That's another one that kind of sucks to miss. So. Alright, so we're going to... I guess we're going this way. Didn't actually want to go this way first, but that's okay. We'll make an attempt on the very last one. This very last one, I don't know, sometimes it can be super easy, I'll get it first time, other times it's the hardest one in the game. So, we'll see what it is today. We're gonna make it up here at the very least. I think we're good. Alright, cool, we got that one first try, that's really nice. I'm actually very happy about that. Oh, I didn't even go that way, that was a dumb mistake. That was that we could have easily spent 20 minutes on that, and that would have been a huge waste of time. Do I even need to go down the rest of this? I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't. Alright, well, that was silly. Alright, so let's go back up to 4. Yeah, still have to get this one on the rail. I'm so used to having to do that one multiple times. And normally we go through that left path first anyways. Alright, so we have to get this one, and we have another one on this same session point. Oh, come on. I'm gonna try and double back and get this. Okay. I'm actually gonna try and get up here too. Am I not where I think I am? Totally not. I was trying to get in here. I'm trying to save a session point usage. Oh, this does not look so good though. Alright, we're gonna have to go back there anyways. The reason I wanted to try and get that without having to do this is because of that huge jump that just wastes a ton of time. There probably is a better way to go through there. I just don't have it figured out yet. But that's something for the future for sure. Alright, this looks pretty good. Okay. So now let's go do last 2 at 3. I don't think we'll make this. Normally you need to have exactly full boost. Yeah. So we're gonna miss that, right? So we're gonna land, get our full meter, and then do There may be a strategy actually to do it without full boost. I just haven't. What? I have no idea what I just hit there. Dead stop for no reason. Okay then. Really lost my train of thought. We're going to Yellow Station. Let's
Once
split.
again, this is Radio Big. Let's check in with our competitor Spotlight with Allegra Sauvages. Allegra, you know, she doesn't really need to be Snow
this
White.
station I need a lot of
You know,
work
she
on.
pretty much has millions of drooling idiot guys around her all the time. There's no shortage of those here, you know what I'm saying? If you haven't seen her yet.
Alright, let's see what we can do here. Ideally, we want to take this rail. Ah, I jumped off of it. That was super dumb. Come on, get back on it. Oh my god. Alright, I guess we're taking this rail the correct way. Grab this.
For those checking out some of our classier restaurants in town. Fine dining, okay? Fine.
Alright, off to Red Station. Oh, I don't split yet. Almost did it.
Alright, y'all, here's the latest with our competitor Spotlight. The rebellious and determined Allegra Sauvages is getting some recognition as a frequent medalist. And
We were supposed to land on that rail with that jump.
latest developments here at Radio Big.
Would have given us a ton of boost. That's okay though.
Here's some SSX info for those of you listening. Nate
Same with
Logan's
that one.
been dropping some pretty heavy
I
statements
do not want to be going
around,
backwards.
okay?
Thank you very much.
Statements amounting to the fact that he
Alright, whatever. Good enough.
owns the place. Kind of curious to see how the other
We can do
riders
this section really fast, and that was not really doing with the trend. Can you get on the rail? Thank you.
Now for a circuit update.
Alright, so this is like the only section of the game.
To catch the
Oop,
latest
don't hit
race
that.
action. If you're wondering
That we
what's a good
actually
place to
take
watch
the
it, my money's on the gap jumps.
midsection down to a track. Currently, anyways. It's just faster than going through the loading screen and stuff. Alright, let's see if we can get this.
Sky going out to that nasty ski patroller LG.
I really don't want to be going backwards.
Time to chill, sweetheart.
Alright, good enough. That was definitely my mistake there. Let's see if we can get this first try. This will be really good if we can. Otherwise, we have to go all the way back from that top session point, which kind of sucks. Oh, this does not look good. Yeah, we missed it. That was probably mostly my fault on that one. We are going to try and get this one, though. We're hitting the ice, though. Alright, I'm going to actually let this... Yeah. Let it do that. Alright, careful. Alright, good. So we're going to go back up to 2. We have to. There's no other good way of getting this snowflake up at that top of that ramp. Have to do it correctly this time. This is fine. Doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter. Not having boost here kind of sucks. Alright. Hey, Rar and stuff. What's up? Can you hear me today, or are you still without sound? Alright, we have to go back and get this one still. If we miss this one this time, I'll come back at the end and get it. Generally, I find that if I'm just spamming the same one over and over again, I tend to do worse and worse. So since we have the option, we don't get it this time. That. Nice and easy. Alright, we got it that time. So we're gonna go straight to session point 4. I'm gonna use this little skip right here. Okay, I did get it. So basically we're resetting at a very specific spot to skip that whole pipe section. It normally takes a lot of time. Unfortunately, because of that, we have no boost through this section, but it's short enough that it's not a huge issue. Take this over to session point 5. Then straight to 6. Alright, so this is where the run gets hard. Or the run's already been hard. And then the track. This is where the track gets hard. This actually could be really bad. We made it back, but this last one, probably not going to get it. Yeah. And this is not even the hard part that I was talking about. Just from this session point, the rest of the snowflakes generally are pretty tough. Alright, we got that one. Gotta go back to 6 again. We're going to the left this time. And the ones off to the left are particularly... They're not super hard, but if you miss them, you lose a lot of time because there's no real good way of getting them as a backup at all. You just have to go down the line again. So hopefully we get them all first try. This one up here I think is my least favorite on the track. It's not the hardest for sure, but definitely least favorite. It has a rail. If you miss the rail, you can't do anything about it. I messed up that jump there. We were supposed to go a little bit more to the left. And this is the last one on this line. So that's everything there. I'm gonna try and get this one once. This is easily the hardest one on the track. Right there that we got first try. And this is the second hardest right there that we did miss. Alright, we're gonna go off to the right and just get these other ones before we spam that last one. I'll be very happy if we get that one within a couple of attempts. Alright, so we're gonna try this strat. Ooh, totally messed it up. We might still land on it though. No. I was hopeful. Not quite. Honestly, I think this strategy is probably as hard as the other one. We might just go back to doing the other strategy. This is not uncommon for this to take this many attempts. I've taken minutes on this before. So this is definitely these two. We already got the first one, but this one and then the other one, we definitely have room for improvement on this section of the map in the run. Just anything more consistent would be good. All right, we got it. So now we're off to Ruthless.
We're back with EA Radio.
9 minutes. That's with Yellow Station and Red Station, so that's actually pretty decent.
Access messages on your MCOM. Alright, y'all, It's time to rock. Here's some tunage.
That was dumb. I don't even know why I tried to do that. Alright, so this is the first instance of using a big challenge as basically a session point. I only do this, I think, one other time in the run. I would like to do it more, but I just haven't found good opportunities for it. And what we do is we basically get the session, or get the big challenge, and then reset from it after we get the snowflake. And we're further down the mountain than from session point 2, so it saves us some time. And then when we're done with the session point, we just quit the challenge, and it brings us back where we were, no problem. Alright, so because of this wind, we need to be careful. Get onto this rail and hopefully land on this one. There's a rail there as well that I tried to get, but I missed it. So this is a section that I think could be improved as well. But, you know, one thing at a time. We're gonna hit a death plane right here. It basically just kills you every time you land on it. Not much I can do about that except for just be better at the game. Alright, so we hit that tree, that's okay. Gonna grab this one. This whole track actually needs quite a bit of improvement. But that'll come with time. Alright, so we're gonna go off to the right now. Try and get off this rail if I can. I'm not sure which section of these is best to go through. I just take this one for now, but that's something to test as well. Alright, straight to session point 5. Now the hard part of the run starts. Alright, we got up here. We missed that snowflake, which sucks. Don't fall off. No, okay, we have to come back. Wait. Okay. Do not have to go all the way back down there. I'm gonna see if I can do something really fancy. Probably won't work, but I'm gonna try and get this one and then continue this way. So it did work. It did not look fast at all. It was not cool. Will save us time. Going slow here on purpose, just because I don't want to have to come back and do it again. We want to slow down there because we actually slowed down too much. Because that one's really hard to get if you just launch through there. I actually just realized that I will have to go back from session point 5 one more time. Because normally I do that last section, this section over here, later than the other side. And normally we take this after we get this snowflake and go off to the left here to grab all these. And I forgot to do that. So that was my mistake. Alright. Take that to the bottom of the run. This is the hard part of the run because there are a lot of snowflakes all over the place. This is probably the hardest trick. I'm gonna mess it up probably. Alright. So we get that one, we do some jump spamming to be able to get over to this side. get these. And we missed that one. Did that even happen? Alright, so now we're going to take this little curve over here and grab this one down here. Select warp back up the top. Grab this, select warp down. And we're going to sneak through here. Again. Alright, so essentially what we're doing there is... oh wow, that sucks. Alright, we will have to come back and get that one. Essentially what we're doing there is we're eliminating... we have to come back and get this one too. We're eliminating a line that we would have to do otherwise. By doing that previous section that way. Unfortunately, this was not very optimal, the rest of this section. We may have to come down 2 extra times even. And the worst part about all that is we start all the way back up here. Not a very good session point. Alright, so we're gonna go off to the left now. That is the safe way of getting that. Because of that second one that we had to get there, we can't really take that rail. It's way too dangerous. This is bad. Alright, so we need to go over to the right again. Hopefully get this rail this time. Oh, come on. Super dumb. That's a really dumb mistake that I basically never make. So I'm a little bit irritated with it. Like, I'm fine with making mistakes that are hard, but that is not a hard rail to get. By any means. There we go. Alright, now, if we're lucky, we can grab this one at the same time. Alright, cool. Ruthless done. We're going to Style Mile next.
You're back with Radio Big. Time for the latest weather developments. It's all happening on Peak 2. Trees falling over, blowing...
This first one can be pretty tricky. We may have to take a couple of shots at it.
This is Radio Big.
Alright, cool.
Just got a call from SSX champ Mac.
Yeah, that was a dumb mistake.
Stars action. Here you go, Mac.
I am stuck holding the jump button. Oh man. Let's try and double back and get this. There is a session point here. Case. Alright, we have no boost for this. Should still be fine. Not getting that rail is okay too. Doesn't really matter one way or the other. We'll grab that. I do not want to be on this rail. Trying to make it over here, nice and easy. Okay. Okay, I want to loop back around now. No real other good way of getting this one currently. Alright, be good. Good. Yeah, that mistake kind of sucked, but that's fine. Getting those two together saves a ton of time. Even having to double back like that and stuff. Alright, so this is a... whoops, that probably ruined our chances of getting this one. Okay, we still got it. That one I used to have a ton of trouble with. I'm glad we got it pretty easy. Now we're gonna grab this one. Grab this rail. Get off the rail. Nice and easy through here. Alright, so we're trying to get up here. And up here. Let's swing back around. This is technically a rail. We're gonna bring this all the way back up here. Maybe land on this. Nice. And from here, we will use this rail. That the snow is not permitting me to get on. Good. The snow acts really wonky there if you're not on it right. Alright, so we're going slow here on purpose, and we'll speed up. We have to make this jump. This is one of the coolest. Oh man, we have to do it again. Alright, we'll come back for that. That's one of the coolest sections in the game, in my opinion. Got to grab this one. Grab that one. Save some boost here. We have to jump off this rail. Alright, we have to do that again. I'm actually gonna land, get boost. Alright, I think 3 will work. Yeah. Sometimes you can hit that rail at a bad angle and it just stops all momentum. And you need momentum, otherwise you're not gonna make that jump. I didn't actually think I was going to make it on that rail that time. I'm doing that extra jump just to make sure I have boost through this section. Ah, I messed it up again. Okay, we're still going to make it though. Let's see if we can get over here from this. I do not want to be on this rail. I do want to be on this rail, however. Alright, if we're lucky, we can get this one first try. This one, historically, has been really hard for me to get for no reason, really. We're gonna go back to 4. Nope. Oh my god. Getting stuck on that rail is really bad. Don't do it. Alright, good. No! Oh my god. Really dumb mistakes going on right now. We wanted to not get on that rail at all, because there's another one, another snowflake over there. Don't do it. I don't usually approach from this angle. Alright, we got that one. So now we just have 2 left here. Try and get this one now. This is probably the hardest one on this map. Because that jump is really difficult. I don't know why, but it just doesn't want to bring you far enough. I'm sure there's a very good reason. I just haven't figured it out yet. Alright, let's not mess this up this time. Alright, cool. Alright, so now we just have that last one. This one can take me a lot of time, so I'm hoping that it doesn't. That's not gonna work. That's bad. I'm gonna keep with this. See what happens. Yeah, not even close. Alright, that was a good jump, but we're definitely not gonna make that. Alright, good, we're on here. I am gonna jump just in case. Sometimes you can mess that up. Alright, style mile done. We're going to... where is it? Launch time.
Welcome back to Radio Big. Here's the latest in mountain info. Ski Patrol are issuing a high alpine warning to those venturing out into the backcountry. You're listening to Radio Big.
Alright, probably not gonna make this, honestly.
Coming your way from my turntable to your eardrums.
We didn't have any boost. We kind of need like just a fraction of boost there. I should have done a flip onto the rail. Just forgot. Alright, that should be enough. No, I guess it wasn't. I'm gonna see if I can... Nope, definitely not. Oh, come on. Not having this much trouble with this before. Really? I'm just gonna see what happens when I hold boost. I cannot believe how many times in a row I have not made this jump. Pretty weird. I was not expecting to have trouble on this track. Alright, we're gonna get the other ones. Come back for that one, because I don't know what. We should land directly on this, hopefully. Good. I'm actually going to try and get this... Nope, not going to work. There's another one in there that I was going to try and get, but it's really hard to do that way. I cannot believe we're not making that jump. That jump's so easy. There we go. Is that so hard? Apparently so. Yeah, we have to do it again though. I missed the rail. By a mile. This is pretty unreal right now. There we go. Okay. Now mess this up. Alright, we got it. Have to get the last one now. We're going to Crow's Nest next. Not session.
And you're back with Radio Big. Time for a weather update. I'm happy to report yesterday's conditions will be carrying through most of today. Actually,
Luckily this one should be easier.
you're tuned to Radio Big. You know, it's always a good time.
We're gonna have to come back to this one though.
And here they are.
Oh, we got it. Alright, off to happiness.
Once again, this is Radio Big. This is a message for all competitors. For the latest and greatest in text messages, keep checking your MCOM. For everything else, keep listening to me.
this is sketchy. Alright, we still got the snowflake though. Good. We only got 3 tricks there. Might have been able to get 4, but I didn't really want to risk it. And we're 1 off, so this worked out anyways. Yeah, that was bad. What the heck? Not a normal mistake there. Take this slow. You can really screw up some stuff there if you're not careful. Alright, so we're going back to 2. Gonna grab this other one that there's no other good time to get. Back up to the top of the mountain. Slow down for a second. That might have been a bad idea. Okay, we still got it. I'm gonna play this one safe. I really don't want to have to come back and get it. This is gonna be a weird lineup. Still got it. And that was a dangerous trick to do right there. Okay, off to session point 4. So ideally we have to go down this 3 times. It may be 4 if we miss this trick right here. It's really hard to do. Come on, get up there. Alright, cool. We're up here. That saves us a whole session point. Alright, back to 4. I think the avalanche is really unfortunate. Alright, back to 4 again. Be the last time we go down from here, unless I make a really dumb mistake. Alright, we're gonna try and get a bunch of tricks here. Good enough. want last 2 tricks here. Alright, so we're gonna line this up. That looks good. And as soon as we land, we're gonna sneak back over to the right side. Flip this mountain. Grab this one. Make our way up here. The angle was kind of wonky, but should still be fine. That was probably unnecessary. Let's make sure we get that one. Nothing worse than having to go back and get a snowflake because you paused too early. Alright, we want to be careful on this one. One I can definitely miss. Looks good. Alright, last 2 on the track. And then we're off to Snow Jam. First track that I actually routed of this. Definitely a fun one.
Radio Big back again. Hey, here's a bit of inside info on the SSX circuit. Peak 1's being tagged by none other than Mac Free. You're listening to EA Radio Big. What's missing from the day in the mountains? Music? Here you go.
Sketchy. Very good. This is awesome. That does not usually happen. We have to go back. I cannot remember the last time I missed those. That's how that's supposed to go. Really? Can't believe I missed that. That's so dumb. Alright, we'll come back for it. I just need to hopefully remember that I forgot to get it. Missed it, rather. We're gonna go for safe strats here. I'd like to have boost here. I think it's gonna happen though. Okay, it did. Get this trick. I want to try and land on that. Alright, cool, we did it. Take it off. We're gonna save Super Uber for a bit. Alright, good. It's one of the worst ones to have to come back to get if you miss. I got Super Uber early here on accident. Should still be fine. Getting Super Uber early isn't really a huge issue. It just might make the run a little bit slower. That definitely makes the run slower. Can we get back and get on that? Missing that's really bad. I don't think we can get back to it. Which means we have to go back all the way from. So, this has been a pretty bad Snow Jam. Now we definitely will not have Super Uber. Oh, are you kidding me right now? The rail is not that hard to get, trust me. Third time's the charm, I suppose. See if we can get this. Well, we got the rail. We can get that trick, but we can't get a simple rail. Alright, so this is where it suffers a little bit from not having boost. We have to double back and get this one. And this just goes faster if you have full boost. As well as this section is much less sketchy. Are you kidding? We have to come back and get that. Alright, this has been a really bad snow jam. If I weren't doing a run, I would reset. Like if I was just doing this track. 100%. Get on the rail. Thank you. Just to make it better, right? Alright, we got it. Back to session point 2 now. I do have to go back to session point 3 at some point as well. We'll do that at the end of this line. So normally we would go to 5 here, we're gonna go to 3, we gotta grab this one we missed over here. Let's make sure we get that. And now we're going to 5. Way too much height. What was a mistake? Cool. Off to R&B now.
We're back with EA Radio Big.
Near the end of the run.
Spotlight on Allegra Sauvages, blasting onto the scene
I mean, still probably another half an hour at least. We're getting there though. So I will be happy with a sub 2 hours on this first run. If we can get that, that'll be pretty sweet. Might be a little bit tricky with some of the tracks coming up, but try to make it happen. Oh, that's really bad though. Off the rail! Oh my god. Game hates me today. Alright, so what we're supposed to do here, hopefully we'll do it, get down here and then take this rail backwards, like that. We're not supposed to take it backwards again. Or I guess that is technically cool. Grab that. Come in over here, land on this rail. Sneak in over here. gonna go straight to session point 5 or 5-3. Should land directly on this one. We messed up, so we have to do it again. This is a very tight speed window to land on that. We're gonna do a hand plant here and try and make it over this way. But we did not do it right. Ideally, we would land on that one from this route. It's really hard to do that, though. Right, back to 3. Oh my god. Thank you. Off to 4. Alright, we messed that up. I was going too fast. If you go too fast, your hand plant just instantly releases. Alright, now off to 5. Arguably fun part of this track. I just like it because I get to go backwards on the rail. Missed that one. I'm just gonna go get it. You were not supposed to do that, but okay. Nice and easy, make it through here. And we missed that. There we go. Alright, now this section of the map sucks. Straight up. Do not like this part of the map. It's really cool. Not a good speed run. Not even a little bit. Alright, we're gonna just get this one. Not how we're supposed to do this. Hey, MX Ignition, what's up? Oh my god, get on the rail. There we go. Alright, last one. We're off to basically E3. Okay. Transport. Ride Black Station.
You're back with Radio Big. Here's the latest update on mountain conditions. Walking home from the day shack last night, I saw some pretty fat snowflakes, and that means lots of
Alright, now I gotta remember where these are. This is my least practice station, for sure.
Sounds like a perfect day to me. If I was up there. You can check it out.
I'm good. Why are you so tired? Get the snowflake. No. Oh my god. That sucks having to get this one all the way back from the beginning. Alright, off to much too much.
Welcome back to Radio Big.
Definitely can save time on that in the future.
When Simon Stark speaks.
Alright, we're gonna do this right side first, just in case.
This is Radio Big. There's a little deep sky going out to that nasty ski patroller LG up on Peak 3. Time to chill, sweetheart.
We may have jumped too high to get that one, honestly. See if we can do this. No. Alright, we have to have another go at that. Let's go this way first, though. I may not have boosted early enough to make it onto this. Hopefully we did. Okay, we did. I'm not gonna... I shouldn't have boosted there either, actually. That was a mistake. Now we're not gonna make this one. Alright, we're gonna go back and try and get this one again. If we do it right, we should be able to make the other jump. I think we jumped too high again. Get too high. Maybe I should try just jumping, not boosting. I think I tried that in practice, but I don't remember if it worked or not. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, no way. Looks bad as well. Come on. Land on it. Oh my god. Nap that made you confused and more tired. Sounds like it didn't really do its job. Alright, we got this. Land on it. Track is wrecking me right now. I did this track before I did this run, actually, and we were not having this much trouble on it. Then again, that's not the first track that's happened with either. I think we would have landed on it if I was lined up. Alright, we're gonna get this one probably. Just need to grab that last one. It seems to be very elusive. Alright, come on, we can do this. I don't think we have the speed. Really need to not hit that glass when we go through there. There we go, that's better. Come on. Alright, cool. Glad I didn't jump there. Alright, off to the throne.
And you're back with Radio Big.
I believe we can see the end now. I think it's just throne gravitude kicked out.
Right now, folks.
I don't think there's anything else.
Few nights have left endless miles of untracked goodness up there. Now I know everyone's gonna be charging up their full speed. Just do us all a favor. Watch yourself.
Sneak over here. That's where I was trying to go.
I got the latest coming up for you right now, folks.
Alright, so this is the second use of a big challenge as a session point, basically. And I would have liked to have landed on this rail. Welcome back, Raw and stuff. Alright, we're gonna restart this challenge. Good, grab it. Really want to try and not do that. Alright, we're gonna restart the challenge again. We gotta get that one. Need to work on this one. I've been having trouble with it lately. I don't want to take it slow, trying to make sure I land on it. It didn't work. Maybe I should try and get on that rail up there. I mean, realistically, since we're doing this over again, I should just get on the rail. Good start. Just to guarantee that I... hopefully guarantee I don't have to do this again. Alright, cool, we got it. No, we do not want to retry. And we want to go to session point 2. Alright, let's grab this first. Oh, guess not. So this is like the hardest part of this map, I think. Section. Specifically this right here. The rest of the map's not too bad. Make it. Alright, cool, we got it. Let's hopefully get this. I'm gonna grab this one over to the right if I can. And it was worth a try getting back over there. That middle jump is very tricky. I also just don't have much experience on it. Probably the bigger factor. We're up here, but I don't think we'll get this one. We landed on the ramp too late. I am gonna, however, take this all the way down and grab that one that you can see in the distance. There's no session point before that, so we just need to get it. Oh man. Alright, see if we can get over here and just grab this one. Alright, hopefully this doesn't take too many times to get, too many tries. Just that. What is this game doing to me right now? My weekend was good, thank you for asking. Had a lot of work to do, but I got it all done. And I found a good way to do perpendiculars. We did that track already. Oh my god, though. This stupid part of this map. Yeah, not too much else happened. some good food. A lot of work. Alright, come on. Come on. Alright, cool. We don't have to do that ever again. Except for next time we do the run. Alright, so we want to slow down here. Hopefully that doesn't cause an issue. Get up there. Bit of a fatty indeed. Nice and easy. Make sure I don't mess this up. Nice and slow. If you go too fast on this one, you'll miss this. Same with the next one. Oh, we bonked. We have to come back for it. Stupid bonks. Alright, let's grab that one right now since we're already on the selector for it. Actually, can we do this in here? Should be able to. I don't usually go that way. Alright, back up to session point 3. Yep, bonk. Oh man. There's no, I've done that before. There's no way you can go back and get that one. It's like on weird snow. You have to get it the first time around. Couldn't have tried to cut it so close. Hopefully we can get this one. Good. I always forget about this section of the map until I get to it. This is a really cool section though. Oh crap. Okay, we got it. Last two. And we're off to gravitude. I should not have looked away while I was doing a flip. And I shouldn't have done that flip period, but no, whatever. Gravitude.
Once again, this is Radio Big.
Almost there.
With our competitor spotlight, managing to catch a few by surprise, Allegra Sauvages has rocked.
Alright, we're going straight to 4. Almost messed that up.
Okay, Fisher Spooner.
I think eventually I want to do that later in the run.
Enjoy.
Or it happens. Yeah. Don't. Oh man. I need to turn everything up. I need to change that route. We can't get that snowflake really at all. I do not need to read my messages, actually. It is true. Alright, this is the hardest one on the track. Alright, we got a pretty quick though. Could have definitely wasted a bunch of time there, easily. Oh man, what am I doing with my life? Let's see if we can do this. I messed it up. Yeah, no way. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright. Careful, we want this rail, we missed the rail. I just think Snowflakes in this game is the worst thing ever. There we go. Can we get this one too? Alright, that worked out. I mean, definitely not fast, but maybe I should plan on that happening every time. Oh man, don't do this. Can we still get back up here? Sometimes this one's forgiving. Alright, that was pretty bad. Map really messed you up. Not done that. Probably because you don't normally nap around that time. Especially if you didn't intend on napping. That usually does it for me. Alright, we have to go down from 5 quite a few times. Hopefully we can get this without too much issue. Fortunately, the way this is set up right now, I do have to go down this same section twice. There's no avoiding it from what I can see. Hey, Todiostia. Or Isti. I can never pronounce it right. I'm sorry. How's it going now? Alright, let's get this one. We, right here. Go down. Oh man. Please still get it. Alright. Off to 6 again. Wait, not 6. 5 again. Probably not gonna make this jump. Okay. Still get the snowflake. Hopefully. There it is. Alright, we want to slow down here. Falling works too. Oh man. We have to go back to 6. Definitely should have put the easy tracks at the end. It's kind of like a wind down for the run. Then again, I'd probably make more mistakes because I'd be like, oh, they're easy tracks. Alright, bottom of the run. Hopefully we don't mess this up too badly. Good start. Bad. Okay, we made it onto the rail. That's the important part. I'm gonna go for the safe route. Super safe route. I really don't want to have to come back all the way down that. Okay. Last track. Here we go.
Radio Big back again. Time now for mountain weather. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, the wind is causing mass chaos up on peak.
Alright, this is gonna be interesting.
You're tuned to Radio Big. You know what's missing? Enjoy.
Let's not get hit by this guy. I had a feeling that was gonna get close. Alright, maybe we can do this trick without too much issue today. Probably not. This is really hard. Yep, that's good. That's about how I expected that to go. Oh, hold on. Nice. Okay. Well, that wasn't really quite how I intended it, but you don't have to do it again. That's the important part. Let's see if we can just go straight from here to get this one. Well, we didn't line it up, but should be able to. Alright, cool, we got it. Go back to 2. This rail's tricky. Good. Careful, we really want to get on this rail. That's fine. Actually, that's better. Because that rail oftentimes doesn't let us go on this side. We're gonna miss that one. Don't know why we wiped out there. We're not gonna make that. Oh. Okay. I actually did not know that that select warp worked. So that is something to add to the run for sure. Especially if that's consistent. I will have to test that out. Don't let me forget that. That was super useful. Nope. Off. Gotta go this way. Looking good. I do not want to be up here. Hopefully. That works. Go. Okay. Get off. Hopefully this jump works. Good. Alright, where do we have to go back to? We still have one missing on 3. I believe it's this one. Yep. Okay, it does not work. I was just checking. Alright, we have these 2. A little bit surprised we landed on that rail, to be honest. Alright, if we play our cards right, we can get both of these in one run. Gotta get on the rail though. Ah, we didn't do it. That's okay. That is the last one though. And unless I spend 15 minutes on it, we got our sub 2 hours. Pretty handily, in fact. Oh, we missed it still. Is this how we're gonna go out? We're gonna spend a couple minutes on this. Come on now. Don't be too cruel, game. There you go. 1 hour, 45 minutes. Let's just make sure we got them all. 425 out of 425. There you go. Not too bad.